Okay. All right. So looks like we have quite a few that are joining us today. Um, I think we're going to wait just a little bit longer before we start, but hello, everybody. Sergey, Andre, Francisco, Peter, Robert, Edmund, Lars, Lorenzo, Bernard. It's a pretty good turnout for mid-November. Get started here in a minute. Chanwet is going to talk about all things Flamingo. So I do hope that all of you think about questions so that we can, if you think about a question, then I think you're not the only person who's thinking it. And so let's be as interactive as possible. Use the Q&A. If you're new to this format in Zoom, the Q&A is at the bottom. You'll get a pop-up and then you can go from there. We still have several others. Hello, Andre. What do you think, Chan? What do you think it's going to be a pretty good demo that we have ready for everybody?
Yeah.
Happy about it? Good. I'm just going to give it one more minute and then we'll start.
Sure.
All right, get everybody settled. Give people time to open questions if they'd like to from the start. Certainly, question I would ask is, my question for all of you who are joining is, what would you like to get out of today's session that we have? So, let us know right away.
Yeah. Yeah, I can.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Share my slide in the meantime, for sure. Yes. Here is. Link. Okay. Okay. So I can start now, right, Martin?
Yeah, let's go ahead and start. I think it'd be good.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Excellent. I think I've frozen, so I'm gonna try and fix that while you start.
If Hi, thank you for joining me today. Today I'm going to talk about Flamingo, which is a Flux subsystem for ArgoCD, and the motivation behind creating this project is that we all doing GitOps, right? And we are both Flux and ArgoCD, they are CNCF graduated projects, and they're both popular, and they have their own user base. And some of you might use Flux, some of you might use ArgoCD, for example, and they have their own way of doing things, different workflows, and set of extensions, for example. And so the problem is that they have their own way to do things, but sometimes we wanted to use for example, I'm coming from the Flux side. I want to do I want something from some feature from ArgoCD, for example. And so it would be great. It would be great if we could use both to help us solve the day-to-day problems and manage our GitOps project, for example. And what is the benefit of Flamingo for ArgoCD user? Flamingo allow us to access features from both Flux and ArgoCD. It's just, of course, it's just a ArgoCD user interface. Yeah, so it's built on top of ArgoCD and Flux. So you can just use the user friendly interface of ArgoCD to do stuff, while you can leverage Flux automation and some advanced feature. Yeah, we're gonna show this today as well, that like OCR repository. So you can use ArgoCD user interface to drive Flux to do stuff. And the idea is that this project integrates Flux as a GitOps engine into ArgoCD, and it's the drop-in and non-invasive component in the sense that you can see from this picture as well. If you still want to use ArgoCD, you can go with the ArgoCD reconciliation part. They are both the top one. But when you enable Flux as a subsystem of ArgoCD, you can just use Flamingo to drive Flux as GitOps engine to do all the stuff. And the tech base behind this is called loopback reconciliation. So what is it? Loopback reconciliation is an algorithm that use Flux objects as a design state for ArgoCD application. So you got ArgoCD application, and instead of asking, the state from directly from the cluster, ArgoCD in Flamingo in this setup, the application will ask the state of the Flux object, and it's gonna leverage the Flux reconciliation instead of using the ArgoCD native process. And when the Flux object got updated, it's gonna report back to the ArgoCD application, so it can display the state or the state of objects to you. So it's like if you're using the native ArgoCD reconciliation, you're going this route. But when you enable Flux subsystem, Flamingo is going to use Flux as a GitOps engine, and you can do some advanced bit like using Flux hem releases or using Terraform controller, for example, to do some stuff, because Terraform controller is a Flux controller, for example. And recently I have released the new tool called Flamingo CLI. It's the aim of this CLI is to simplify the installation of Flamingo, and also simplify the creation, the visualization setting of a Flux object. Well, in the past, it's a bit tricky to create a ArgoCD application and turn on the Flux subsystem switch there. But with the CLI, you can just apply your Flux objects first. Then you use the Flamingo generate add command to generate generate is a correct word here. To generate the application out of the Flux objects. So you have Flux object first, you generate the Argo application from it, and it's going to have all setting need to visualize this object in Argo UI. So it's not only customization object that this command support, it's also support ham releases as well. So it's like you can generate the customization object. You can generate the Argo application from your customization object as well as the ham release object, just using KS or HR as a prefix of a object name. And okay, so now we can yes, please.
Yeah, so we do have one question. I think it's pretty good. And just wanted to see if we could respond before we get in.
Yeah, sure.
So Sude's asking about ArgoCD itself is able to sync from a repo. So what advantage does Flamingo provide here? So I think that, if you dive in now, we can sort of correlate a little bit more with your demo. So.
Oh yeah. So the question is, ArgoCD can sync with a GitOps, Git repository already, right? But
yes.
What is adding here? Well, Flux itself is offer many mechanisms, not only Git repository, many ways to sync, many sources, many kind of sources to sync from. That's a correct word. For example, recently in the recent version of Flux, it's shipped with something called OCI repository, which is a very it's allow you to use OCI as a source of your GitOps application. And very good bits about OCI repository is that you can sign and verify that image, because OCI is kind of darker container image. So you can sign the image. You can use the Flux source controller to verify that image, and that is very advanced use case that you can use right now in Flamingo with Flux. That's one thing. Another thing is that Flux architecture is based on microservices architecture, and with that you can have another kind of controller like Terraform controller. So you can use ArgoCD UI to drive to do stuff like provisioning your cloud resources directly via Flamingo. So that's two things that make it a bit different from using ArgoCD alone. Yeah.
Good, thank you.
So now, we have a Kai cluster. set up already, and I'm going to install Flux first. So it's like we have Flux version here. So we got the latest version of Flux, yeah, 2.1, and we do a simple Flux install. You would do this like running like a Flux bootstrap or whatever if you want to go full blow with GitOps setup. But this is just a simple way to install Flux without setting up the full GitOps environment. Okay. And what we gonna do next is to install Flamingo, and with the Flamingo install command, okay, we got the Flux install. You can install you can download the Flamingo CLI from Homebrew, for example, or use curl and the install script here. It's just the same way that we're trying to use the same installation workflow that implemented in Flux. So it's like you got a familiar way of doing things if you're already using Flux. So Flamingo is here, and we got version command for you to check. So we got the latest Flamingo CLI version here, which is 6.061, and the default server version, which is a real instance of a Flamingo. It's based on ArgoCD 2.8, 2.8.6. I now can run Flamingo install. So it's gonna use Flamingo 2.8 here. So you're gonna see that everything's gonna install in the ArgoCD namespace. So it's like if you don't want to set up it this way, you can just use Flamingo image with ArgoCD hem chart and just change the image there. And for example, if you use something from some, I would say, ArgoCD from some different ArgoCD distribution from other vendors, you can just, of course, replace it with this image, and everything would just work. Okay.
So
the same.
yes,
please.
I was just going to say, so if I have a dev cluster, I would be able to do this as well, right? I don't have to just go and use fresh install.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a very quick way to install it, and it could be that it's just a server-side apply similar to what being implemented in Flux, and the verification of the installation, etc. And yeah, and now we have Flamingo install. It's a simple install command, and the next is that we're gonna create the customization object, which is here. This is the example that I just mentioned, that recently Flux support something called OCR repository, which allow you to bundle everything, your manifest, your Terraform files, your whatever, inside a Docker image, which is OCI is just Docker image, and you can push it to the registry like this. So this is from GitHub container registry, and with this you can sign and verify this image, and you got Flux source controller to do that verification stuff for you for free. And what we're going to do here is to deploy everything not from Git repository, but this one is from OCI repository.
Yeah, so I mean that helps for the earlier question. So we have both the option of both Git and with OCI as well.
Also Bucket as well. If you like using Bucket like a S3 compatible Bucket, then you can just plug Flux into it and then
use that.
Yeah, okay. just use that. And okay, I copy and paste here. Now you got your Flux object created, and then next step is to generate the application from that customization object using this command. I want to show you a bit first how the application manifest look like. So I use the export flag here. So when you have this, it's not applying your generate manifest, just showing the application manifest for you. So what it say, this command is going to generate the application ArgoCD application object, which is going to be placed inside ArgoCD namespace, and it tells Flamingo that the workload type is customization, and the source type is detected from here, is OCI repository, and then it's going to point the repo URL and the target revision and other things to this OCI URL, and it's as a Flux subsystem flag here, you see, and this is a mandatory flag to use with Flux subsystem. So we're gonna apply out of same only.
So
we yes,
yeah,
please.
Yeah. So Chanwood, I guess the thing is, I mean, I know the answer, but I'm just going to ask it in a certain way. This provides an ability. So if you have, if you're an Argo shop and you have your ArgoCD deployments, and you have one of the teams that you have needs to be able to do something with OCI, then this is a way that you're able to do that, right? By providing a namespace and then leveraging Flamingo.
Yeah. Yes. Good. And if you're worried about installing Flamingo, I mean replace ArgoCD with Flamingo. If you're worried about that, you can install it inside a namespace as well. Like you have the current setup of your ArgoCD in the cluster, and you want to try Flamingo, you can install it in the namespace, and it can share the CRD, but the instance is just reside in a specific namespace, and you can play with it and just delete that namespace after that, for example. Okay, so it's just support to you to try both GitOps engines in the non-invasive way that I mentioned.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we're gonna generate and apply the application. Okay. And yeah, I am a bit lazy to take a look with the password every time I use ArgoCD, so I create this command show init password. So this is the password that we're going to use, and I'm going to do part forwarding, and here we go. We gonna get into the Flamingo UI. Okay, and boom, you got this application waiting for you already, and you're gonna see that the Flamingo application is slightly different from the normal ArgoCD application in the sense that when you go from the application, you're gonna see that you have the customization object of Flux here. You see the Flux logo, and then you're gonna have like the source here. So it's like the application links with a customization object or hem release object, and you're gonna see the source object, and this one is also a repository is point to the OCR image, and the rest of that is going to be very similar to what you already familiar in ArgoCD. So this is a very simple setup. Normally is what a bit hard to doing this by hand, because you have to go clicking stuff, typing a lot of things in the like create a new ArgoCD application and type the correct value to showing this. But now with the CLI, you can just generate it from the existing Flux objects, and you got this display. The very good bit of doing this here, I want to show you, is that you can delete the application object. Okay. This is a good side effect. You delete for example, you can just delete the application object, but everything still running in via Flux. So it's like we cleanly separate the visualization layer out of the GitOps
layer
mechanism.
Yeah. Okay.
And now you can just create it again and it's come back. So everything's still there. Your status stay green. Everything. I mean, we don't touch the deletion of the application doesn't affect the application in the cluster at all. And for another example, this is we have a very good things here, like this hem chart is cosigned by the author of this image on via GitHub action, and with Flamingo and Flux, you got the verification process for free, and I this hem release object here. Okay, so you got the hem release, and applied, and this is a application generation of a hem list, and you're going to see that this is a application in another namespace, which is a part info hem, different from the previous one, and you got the hem release object and point to the hem repository object, and when we apply this, I want to show you that it's gonna appear right away here. Okay, you got the hem release application here. This is a hem release that reconciled by the hem controller of Flux, not the hem release that created by your ArgoCD. And oh, sorry, wrong window. And what you're gonna see here in the hem repository, this one, no, the hem release object, you're gonna see that the reconciliation process and the application just reported here with a version chart number, and you're going to see it right there as well. It's a bit small, but so it's just to show the hem chart version that applied, and the version that is trying to apply, yeah. So that's two different kind of regulars: the customizations and hem release object. And that's all. Well, from my
so we have
side.
Great. We have a really good question from Lorenzo. I'm not sure if you can see that. I'll read it off and then go from there. So Lorenzo says, let's pretend that we have a complex Flux setup, including a root customization.
Yes.
In turn, loads many other customizations which compose our cluster contents and have dependencies among them. What would be an ideal setup to expose all of this in ArgoCD? Is it better to have a single ArgoCD application for the root customize? In that case, the whole hierarchy is present as expandable in ArgoCD, or do we get the ability to explore only the first level, i.e. the customizations inside the root customization, but not their content? So what I've described is an actual case we have in Flux. So I'm interested in how to connect such a setup with other pre-Argo setups. It's a great question.
Yes, a very good question. Yes, it's back to the demo that we show you that you can think of Flamingo as the virtualization layer of your application. In that sense, you can selectively choose the area of the application you want to see. So if you create if you generate the application for the root object, you're going to see the root and other thing. I'm not very sure about the hierarchy, but I can check that for you. That is going to link like a many layer or not. But if you want to apply the app pattern of ArgoCD, you can just create a number of applications that you're interested to see and then link it together. Like you have for example, I haven't set it here. In ArgoCD have something like what I am implemented here for with GitOps. ArgoCD have an external link, the capability to put the links here in your application. You can use it to link your application together, your set of applications together, and then use the Flamingo generate add command to just display a set of application that you want to see at that moment. So
okay,
yeah, so that's kind of, it's going to provide like a new way, a more flexible way to just see or not seeing things. Yeah.
okay. All right.
Does Flamingo CLI?
So the next,
yeah. Sorry.
No problem. So I'd just like to read it out so everyone else can not have to open up the window. All right. Is Argo just a visualization for Flux's customizations, or can we actually manage Flux from Argo?
Can we manage Flux from Argo in? I'm not sure I understand this question from Sasha. In what sense?
So
Manage Flux in what sense? Sasha?
I'm thinking removing the UI from Argo. Can you then manage your Flux namespace? I mean, I think you kind of can, right? It's
manage Flux. Well, if you create the application that control the root object of Flux, you can just do it.
yeah.
There's a demo in the old repository of a Flux subsystem for Argo that you bootstrap everything
First, right? I remember this.
With Flamingo first, and then you can see like a Flux being bootstrapped as a root customization object, and then you can jump from that to the application and jumping back. Well, if in that sense, yes.
In that sense, yes, right? Because it's Argo that's actually doing the bootstrap of.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's Spencer's saying, I'm assuming they meant managing, reconciling, and such through the Argo UI.
Yes, of course we have. Reconciling is here. You have a reconciling menu here to just click and trigger the reconciliation for each of Flux object. Is that
answer
your question? I'm not very sure, Spencer. Yeah, we have this implemented. We have a bunch of menu implemented in Flamingo, like a switch, jumping to the with GitOps UI and jumping back from the. If you can see, we have a link here defined that you can using Flamingo and with GitOps and with GitOps Enterprise to just doing things collaboratively.
Yes, Spencer, I figured that too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, bootstrapping, yes. We well, bootstrapping is supported via Flux CLI, so we just we just don't want to get in the way of the things that are already good
Yeah.
implemented in Flux. So yeah, you can bootstrap Flux using the Flux bootstrap command, and then you can for example, you can with Flamingo install command, you have the export Flux as well. So it's like you can get the whole bunch of YAML of the Flamingo and put together into the Flux Bootstrap repository to set everything up from zero. Yeah, the old demo on the repository also have that capability. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, one of the big use cases we have for customers is where the the platform could be, the platform is a Argo based platform, but then there are groups that are assigned namespaces, and so they wanted this ability to be able to do it. So that leads to that design philosophy, right? So that you can enable those teams who need to use it or want to use it. So.
Yeah. And okay.
What is the status?
Would you
of
like
GitOps
to go
solution?
with the yeah?
What is the status of GitOps engine, which could be done together with ArgoCD representatives? That's a good question. I would love to see that happen. You know, we did that announcement almost 3 years ago at this stage.
Yeah. Okay. That one, right? Yeah.
And it's just design philosophies, right? I'm hopeful that down the road, that we could get there. That would be great.
Yeah.
The more the better.
Yeah. Basically, we put some of Flux related codes inside that GitOps engine as well to make Flamingo work like this. So yeah, and I'd love to see that happening as well.
Yeah. Yes. We all would make it easier, right? So we don't have to.
And
well, choice is good, right?
Yes. Yeah.
In some ways, you don't want no choice, but at the same time, sometimes too much choice is too much. I do get it.
We deploy ArgoCD and Flamingo with existing Flux system. Yes, for sure. Yes. If you remember the step I showed in the demo here, you just okay. Yeah. Thank you, Lars. Is there an ASDF plugin for Flamingo CLI? I don't know what is it. If you know, I'm not familiar with that
term. ASDF. Sounds familiar for some reason, but I'm not.
ASDF package manager. Oh, I see.
I don't know. I'm looking at it right now.
I don't know. Currently we support only installing it via Homebrew and the installation script. But yeah, contributions welcome. I like to say it package as a next package as well. if you Thank you so much, Lawrence.
All right. I will be checking out ASDF. I think that looks pretty interesting. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right. I think we're about there. All right. So we will look at getting the recording done. We'll send it out to everybody here. We'll send some links out for the Git repos. Obviously the one we had for this demo, and then the other one, and then you know, kick the tires on this. If there are things, you know, you try things out, you get stuck, let us know. If there are questions that you have, just because this session is over doesn't mean the questions stop. So please continue on as much as you can and see what, you know, love to get some feedback.
Yes, please.
Okay. All right. I don't know how to end this thing, just so you know. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.